Let's do this one. Real YouTubist, rank the Pokemon games. Can you believe we haven't done this before? Hello, it's... and today we're... okay, just don't forget it. So basically, here's the deal. Today we're going to be talking about the different mainline Pokemon games. Obviously not the spin-offs, so we can talk about those at some point as well. And we're going to be ranking them. Now, originally I wasn't sure if I wanted to rank them based on how good the competitive metagame was, but truthfully, because a lot of the early gens at least didn't really have a competitive metagame, at least not in the sense that I understand it in terms of doubles, which were introduced in Gen 3. As far as I'm aware, at least. It was 3. I didn't think it made that much sense because basically you have 2 whole generations out of the 8 that just don't really make sense, and then etc. etc. So I'll probably mention it just because that's the thing that I care the most about, how the metagame was. But this is just kind of my opinion on the games. I haven't played all of them. I've played most of the ones. I started in Gen 3, so just letting you know, Gens 1 and Gens 2. I can't really rank. So yeah, are Sword and Shield here, by the way? Yeah, there. Okay, cool. So I think it actually makes sense to go in chronological order. So starting with the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. There's Red, where's Blue? I never played these games. Like I said, I started with, my first game was Fire Red, and then my second game was Ruby, so I never actually played these games. So I don't really want to rank them. I think, obviously, I think if I had to rank them, I'd probably put them in the A tier. But, yeah, I never played them. In terms of, competitive stuff, I don't think this would be a very fun format to play, only Gen 1 stuff. It's not that the game wasn't balanced, it's that, there just aren't that many tools that you can use, right? So I imagine that if this were a competitive metagame, it would probably be pretty stale. I know that there's been kind of spin-off format to this and kind of for fun format to this, but I don't personally think it's a game that I would personally really want to play very much. But again, I didn't play these games, so I'm not sure. I just kind of feel though, that these games are kind of iconic in a sense, that they're the ones that started it all, right? So to put them anywhere below A tier would be kind of unjust because, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you can make an argument that they haven't aged well, and that maybe that they that it was more the concept than the execution. But I do really believe that Gen 1 is a good gen, and yeah, you couldn't have the rest of Pokemon without Gen 1, so that's where those go. Or if I had to say, despite not having actually played them, I'd put them there. Let's see. Next up is Silver and Crystal and what's the other one? Crystal. Here's Crystal. I actually technically played Crystal. I never beat it, though. I think I tried to do it as an adult, but I just couldn't get through it. I don't like Gen 2 very much. Oh, Yellow as well. Never played Yellow. I mean, it's all Gen 1, right? So, wait, where is... Sorry, I can't actually find anything. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, that's not right. Ho-Oh. And where's the... Yeah, there. Okay, cool. So, these are the games that I haven't played. I think the rest of them I can actually talk about. I don't like Gen 2 very much. I would probably put it in the C or D tier. But I never grew up with these games, right? I think Crystal's probably a little better, but I didn't grow up with these games, so it doesn't seem fair for me to rag on them too much because I didn't play them, right? My impression of I played Crystal a little bit. I actually had a very brief Nuzlocke series on the channel of me playing Crystal, but this was before I was introduced to Pokemon, and yeah, I think that there's a lot, in theory, I really like Johto. In theory, Johto's a phenomenal region. But, yeah, in practice, I don't know. I really, at least playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, maybe it's different. Playing the remakes, I really didn't enjoy it very much. I really love the concept. I really love that you can go back to Kanto. I think that's sick. But I don't even know what exactly it was, but I just never really liked Gen 2. Okay, now games I can actually talk about. Everything else. Gen 3. So let's start with Ruby Sapphire. Ruby and Sapphire... What's better than Ruby and Sapphire? I think Ruby and Sapphire are A-tier games. I really, really like Gen 3. Gen 3 and Gen 4 are some of my favorite generations. I'm just going to go ahead and put Emerald in the S-tier now. This is one of my few S-tier games. These might even be... No, this is probably fair AS. I think Gen 3 is phenomenal. Music, amazing. There's a lot of really neat stuff when it comes to Pokemon in Gen 3, right? I love the Reggie puzzles, right? I love the designs from Gen 3. You get some really, really good designs in Gen 3. You get Flygon, phenomenal design. You get Metagross, you get Salamence. The legendaries, Groudon and Kyogre are cool. Rayquaza is a sick Pokemon. You also have so many cool legendaries. Deoxys, Jirachi. I just had the other one. What is it? I'm forgetting. Deoxys, Jirachi, forget. I don't remember. There's more to it than just that. But yeah, I like the story. I like the game. I like that it's the one where you have a dad. I think that's kind of like a cool touch. I like that it starts in the back of a pickup truck. The starters are cool. Yeah, the region just feels really nice. And I know it's like a meme, like too much water, whatever. There's also really cool features like contests. Like I played a ton of contests as a kid, right? And actually as an adult, I played a bunch of contests too. I really liked contests. I thought that was a cool feature. Also, the generation to introduce double battling, a really great generation all the way around. So yeah, I really like Gen 3. Gen 4. Oh wait, Gen 3 is also Fire Red, Leaf Green. These were alright. Like, I didn't love them, honestly, but it was my first game. I think I had Leaf Green, actually. I thought it was Fire Red, but I think it was Leaf Green. They're good, right? I like Kanto. I like Kanto is iconic. It's kind of hard to, like, judge Kanto objectively just because it's the first one, you know? So it's harder for me, at least, to really think objectively about it. But, I mean, I enjoyed these games a lot as a kid. This is never a game I would replay. Like, I've replayed Emerald. I would never replay Fire Red, Leaf Green, or at least, like, I wouldn't, like, maybe I would do it, like, for stream or something if the stream wanted, but I would never be like, yes, like Fire Red is my favorite game, right? Leaf Green is my favorite game. The remakes are cool, right? But, yeah. Gen 4. Now, Gen 4 is also phenomenal. Diamond and Pearl, I kind of feel like Gen 3 and Gen 4 are the best. I think Diamond and Pearl are like, just really great games across the board. Why isn't this working? And, again, Platinum is S tier. You might wonder why the third game is better. It's the addition of the post-game content, and specifically Battle Factory. Like, the Battle Frontier in these games is, like, I maxed out hours in both of these games because I spent all my time playing Battle Factory as a kid. Like, and, again, as an adult, I went back and played these as well. Again, another series we actually have on the channel from way back in the day is some of my Battle Factory content, which, in my opinion, is some of my better content, honestly, especially when Marcus and I were doing it together, but... yeah, Gen 4 is phenomenal. Like, I remember thinking the Distortion World was super cool. The Legendaries are super cool. The starters are good. Like, I like Gen 3 and Gen 4 starters. Some of the designs are a little missed. Like, I don't love Staraptor. I don't love, like, Cricketune, you know, some of that stuff. But, like, there's also a lot of great designs in Gen 4. Garchomp, Luxray is a great design. And the Legendaries are really interesting. I love the introduction of Regigigas. I like Heatran, Cresselia. These are Pokemon that, like, really defined the metagame for a while and were some of my favorites. I don't know if I'd say Heatran defined the metagame, but... yeah. Also, like, I really like what they did in Gen 4 of giving old Pokemon evolutions. I thought that was such a cool concept, and especially to do it in such force. Like, Gliscor, Tangrowth, Electivire, Magmortar. Like, I remember as a kid, I had the Platinum, like, strategy guide, and it was, like, this thick book. It had, like, every route in Platinum, like, the whole Pokedex, etc. Back before I knew about, like, Cerebi and stuff. And, like, I would just read that for fun. Like, I love Platinum. I love Emerald. Like, those are some of my favorite games. And I think they're really fun. I think the replayability is really there. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's amazing games across the board. Gen 5 is also really good. I don't know if Black and White and Black... I haven't played these games recently enough to put them in the S tier. I'm gonna put both the originals and the sequels together. I think these are all A tier games. Or actually, I kind of feel like Black 2, White 2 are really good. Like, I feel like these games are super slept on. But, like, Gen 5 is also... okay, I lied. 3, 4, and 5 are my favorite gens. Like, by far. Yeah, like, really great games. I'm also a little biased because this is when I started competitive Pokemon in earnest. Like, I played singles in Gen 4, but in Gen 5, right when Black and White came out was when I actually joined VGC, actually before the games came out in America. But, yeah, like, I love Gen 5. I love the designs. Like, some of my all-time favorite Pokemon are from Gen 5. Reuniclus, Scrafty, Conkeldurr, Emboar, Hydreigon. Even the genies are cool in theory until you have to play against them in the VGC for like 4 years. What else? Amoonguss is iconic, although not super fun to play against. Like, I don't know. There's so many cool designs, and Gen 4 or Gen 5 was so interesting because, like, at least in Black and White, it was a total region lock, right? Like, that's not something you get in Johto or in Hoenn. And of course you get it in Kanto because it's the first gen, but you know, like. The fact that every Pokemon you encountered in Black and White was, like, a new Pokemon, I remember being so excited about that. And yeah, Black 2, White 2 is, like, it's, like, honestly, like, it's so cool that they did a sequel. You know, like, so much of Pokemon, the enhanced versions are just, you know, they're just, like, the same game with, like, a little extra content and, like, slight replayability. Like, we're going to talk about this when we get to Sun and Moon and Ultras and Ultra Moon, but, like, that's, like, Black 2, White 2 did it right. Like, it was, like, you played the first games, and then, like, the sequel, like, there was similarities, it was still the same region, but it felt like a sequel, right? Like, it was different, the story was different, you didn't know what was going to happen. I love these games. No Battle Frontier, so they get docked points for that, but if these games had Battle Frontier, I think it might be my favorite games of all time. Yeah, I don't know, I really love these games. Gen 4, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I didn't like these games very much. this is the only Pokemon game I started and never finished. Like, at least, like, started, like, when it came out. Like, I bought Soul Silver. Like, every other game I played, like, all the way through. Like, and I wanted to play all the way through. With some exceptions. I didn't like Soul Silver. I really didn't. I never beat the game. I have it, like, in my room, and I've never beaten it. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I know people loved it. I know that it introduced Pokemon following you. I know it introduced the day-night cycle. I know that if you like Johto, like, I respect that. I'm not gonna tell you, like, Johto's trash, man, you're wrong. But, like, I didn't like Johto. It goes in the C tier. Gen 6. Okay, so that was X and Y. These are either... You know what? There are games where they're worse, so I'm putting them in C tier. Like, Gen 6 wasn't bad in terms of the competitive metagame. It was, like... There were parts of it that weren't great. I think these were really weak games. Like, I think X and Y were some of the weakest games in the series, in my opinion. Xerneas and Yveltal are not cool. They suck. I hate them. Gen 6 just really felt like a letdown. I remember, like, Pokemon isn't known for its story. Pokemon's story is garbage. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But, like, X and Y especially have, like, a terrible story. I also hated the giant cities where you got lost. Like, that big one with, like, the taxis. I always had to call a taxi and waste my money because I couldn't figure out how to get anywhere. I don't know. I just really didn't like X and Y. I think that these are probably the second worst games in the whole series. That being said, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, I liked a lot. I'm probably going to put them in A tier. I would be okay in B tier. I enjoyed these a lot. They were good remakes. Like, they were, you know, like, I don't know why. There's something, maybe it's nostalgia, but I do enjoy the originals more, but the remakes were good. They also added some really nice quality of life features, like that island where you could just, like, hold up and it would hatch eggs for you, like, in a circle, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just had to press up because of the camera change. That was really nice. Gen 7. I'm just gonna be honest. These games are straight trash. Honestly, when I first... Okay, and here's the thing. Like, I actually think Sun and Moon are kind of cool. Like... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say Sun and Moon are kind of cool. When I first played through these, I was like, these might be my favorite Pokemon games. And then I had to play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and it ruined all of Generation 7 for me. Playing through Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon to, like, play in tournaments that I had to get all the Z moves and beat the game was, like, the most miserable experience I've ever had playing a mainline Pokemon game. Like, I didn't want to play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and there was no way around it. I just had to play it. It's the exact same game. There's, like, 40 hours of cutscenes. It's miserable. It's an awful experience. Like, maybe if Ultra Moon, Ultra Sun is your first game, like, maybe, like, then you could justify playing it, and maybe you'd enjoy it. And, like, I think that Sun and Moon did a lot of things that, like, kind of well. I think Sun and Moon, like, the introduction of the totem system was cool. Like, they tried to change the formula. There are some good designs, I guess. Like, I like Araquanid. I think that's kind of cool. Like, these are good start. Well, Decidueye, Premier, and Incineroar have good designs. From a visual standpoint, I don't know if I love Incineroar's competitive design, because it did kind of dominate the metagame for 2 years. But, yeah. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are the worst Pokemon games I've ever played in my entire life. They're even worse than X and Y. I will never, like, if you want to torture me, you make me play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. It's a miserable experience. Like, they're so bad. I didn't play Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, but based on the way they look, I would put them in D tier. I know people enjoyed them. I know they're not really, like, they're not Pokemon in the traditional sense. I had no interest in playing these games because I knew that I'd put them in the D tier, so I didn't play them. I actually don't even think I had I bought a Switch to play Ultimate, so I didn't even have a Switch when they came out, as I recall. So, yeah, I, like, was not interested in these games at all. And then Sword and Shield. I actually think Sword and Shield are very good games. I'm putting them in the A tier. I think Sword and Shield are really good. I like Gen 8 a lot. I think that competitively it's one of the best generations we've had since Generation 5, which is saying a lot, because if we were to talk about ranking the games, like, or the generations competitively, this would be a very different tier list, I think. Although, actually, it wouldn't be that different. Gen 5, by far the best meta. I didn't play 4 or 3. Gen 6 was okay. Gen 7 was... I hate Gen 7's competitive meta. And then Gen 8 is really good. So, it's more or less in line. Yeah. Sword and Shield, I think, are really good. I think that they add a lot to the series. They add some really, like, they're really good in terms of quality of life, right? There's a lot of things that have just been kind of miserable for a while that now are a lot better in Sword and Shield. They, like, the introduction of, honestly, like, these games get a big plus for me just for the introduction of, like, the complete package of bottle caps, ability capsule, ability patch, hidden ability patch, which I already mentioned, like Max Soup. I think Dynamax is actually a really cool mechanic in doubles. In singles, it sucks. I'll give that to you. But in doubles, it like, you know, it's actually a really interesting mechanic. It's the first time since Gen 5 that we haven't had kind of like a blog in a mechanic. Like, Z moves are bad, Megas are bad, Dynamax is actually pretty good. But Yeah, I don't know. I really like Sword and Shield. I think they're good games across the board. I had a lot of fun playing them. If I had to replay them, I wouldn't be miserable. Like, there's not like other than Emerald and Platinum, and honestly, other than my S tier, like I wouldn't really want to replay any of the other games. I think, but like I'd be okay playing anything from the A tier again. And then B tier I wouldn't be super excited about, and C tier I'd really rather not, and then D tier I'd rather do anything else. So yeah, I think Sword and Shield are cool. I was really excited for the new Pokemon. I think they did a really good job with a lot of the designs this year. I really like Dragapult as a design. Like there's a lot of good Pokemon that they introduced. But what are the starters from this generation? All I can think of is Chimchar. Wait, no, Torchic. They have similar names. Wait, what are the starters? The starters are okay. It's Rillaboom, Big Primarina, Long Primarina, and Cinderace. The starters kind of suck. Yeah, they kind of suck. By the way, just so I can do this, whichever generation had Delphox, that generation is awful starters. I think it's X and Y. It's got to be X and Y. Yeah, very bad starters. Just got to say that. And then Expansion Pass, it was okay. I'll give it C tier. Like, there were some nice quality of life things, but in terms, like, I don't even think I beat Isle of Armor Expansion Pass, because, like, I was not interested. Actually, I don't think I didn't beat... Oh, wait, I didn't even finish either of these. It's not D tier because it's not Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and, like, it's not D tier also because, like, they added a bunch of good stuff competitively. Like, competitive-wise, they did a really good job with the Expansion Pass. As a casual player, which I'm not, but if I was, like, a letdown. A big letdown. Just in terms of, like, the quantity of content. Like, I think Isle of Armor you can beat in, like, 3 hours, which, like, I don't know. I would personally have liked a little bit more. And I also don't even like Urshifu's. Like, why, you know, like, stupid mon. But, anyway, that's... How long has that been frozen for? Oh, my God. Nothing I do ever works. Everything just freezes with my face looking stupid. I'm back. No. This is why I need 2 monitors. I had 2 monitors and then the second one broke. Which is the second time my second monitor is broke. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope my face wasn't frozen for that long. Yeah. Let me know what you think. I'm sure that there's going to be some. I'm sure this is somewhat controversial. I mean, I think the real thing is just that I didn't play any of these games. Primarily these 5, but yeah, this is where I rank them. I feel pretty good about how I've represented them. I feel like most things, like, I think I'd rather play any game in the A tier than anything in the B tier, etc., etc. So I think I did a pretty good job. Honestly, like, I like never want to play Gen 7 again. I don't ever want to even think about Gen 7 again. They were like, I think objectively, like, they're not Sun and Moon weren't that bad. But given, like, the thing that made Ultra Sun Ultra Moon so bad was given the context that we already had Sun and Moon. It was just the same game reprinted, but somehow even worse. And, like, because of that, it ruined all of Gen 7. Like, Ultra Sun Ultra Moon literally ruined Gen 7 for me. Also, the competitive meta sucked. It was just bad. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.